Welcome. Trauma is my jam, and by that I mean I help you understand what your body is doing. Let's make sense of it together.
You can understand trauma and you can understand your patterns. And hell, you can even explain exactly why you're reacting the way you do, and your body is still going to react anyways. This is something I see a lot, especially with people who have done a lot of work. And not only what I see with a lot of people that I work with, but also experience myself. You can be aware, you can be insightful, and you can connect the dots. And yet, in certain moments, your reaction still feels automatic, fast, out of control, and not the reaction you were hoping to give. So, why is that? Let's figure out what the brain is doing. When something feels threatening, whether it's emotional or physical, doesn't matter, emotional or physical threat activates the same response. And what happens is your brain moves fast. It detects the threat, it sounds the alarm, it activates the stress response by releasing hormones, and your body quickly moves into survival mode. And all this happens as quick as a snap of your fingers. It happens before your thinking brain has time to step in. So even if the logical part of your brain is saying, it's okay, it's not that big of a deal, we actually might be safe, another part of you is already reacting. And this is why it's so confusing, right? Because on one hand, you understand what's happening, but on another, your body is having a completely different experience. And the gap can feel really frustrating. Like, why am I still reacting like this when I know better, when I've done the work? Trust me, I have said that 1,000 times during my healing journey. Now, before my brain injury, I had probably done close to 2 decades of work and understanding in my healing journey. I could explain my patterns to you. I had insight. I knew where things were coming from. But there were still moments that my body would react in ways that didn't match what I knew. And after my brain injury, that became even more clear. It brought me to a different layer of healing. A layer where I had to start paying attention to what was happening in my body, not just what I understood in my mind. And let me tell you, being in my body has never felt comfortable for me. So I used to avoid it at all costs. But the universe had different plans for me, and thus my brain injury, and thus the need to investigate and explore how to help my body heal from the trauma. So here's what I learned. Your body stores trauma, but it doesn't store it as logic. It stores it as sensation, it stores it as emotion, and it stores it as response patterns. So even if your mind feels clear, your body is likely still holding on to something that it hasn't caught up to yet. Now, the nervous system is always scanning for safety. And when something feels even slightly familiar to past experiences, it responds automatically. And not because you're doing anything wrong, just because that's what it's learned to do, and that's its job, to assess and respond. So, you might find yourself in a moment where you can explain exactly what is happening. Hell, you can even name the trigger, and you can talk yourself through it. But your body still becomes tense, overwhelmed, shut down, and it tries to manage the situation. Like, it wants to bring you back to safety as quick as possible. And that doesn't mean that all the work that you've done on your healing isn't working. Because let me tell you, I have felt that feeling of defeat. I have felt that, like, God, I help people move through their trauma. How the hell can I still be having a traumatic response right now? This is what I do. This is my jam. Trauma is my jam. How the hell am I still having an automatic trauma response right now? But what I've learned is it just means that there's another layer involved. And here's the thing, this is the part that can get really frustrating because you can be in a moment where you know you're okay and your body just isn't buying it. All right, let me give you an example. This is something as simple as smell, how smell can trigger. So, there are a certain type of cookies. They look like a maple leaf, they're shaped like a maple leaf, they smell like maple. And if that smell hits me, my body reacts before I even have time to think about it. Hell, my nose will tell me that those cookies are in a room faster than my eyes can. And I smell them, the alarm system goes off, my body starts to brace. I start to my breathing picks up. I start to feel like this energy, like I got to get out of here. I got to move. I got to get to safety. I got to get away from. And while all that is happening, I can be telling myself, I'm safe. They're just cookies. I'm not in that same situation in my life. Nothing is happening right now, and I am safe. But my body is in complete activation mode. This is the moment where logic isn't the tool that will help bring you back. And that is what I've had to learn. So let's talk about what you can do in those moments. First of all, remove any guilt, okay? Remove any shame and remove any doubt that this is a step backwards because it's not, okay? It's just an invitation to explore another layer a little deeper down. Okay, so you're triggered. So for me, I walk into an event and I can smell those cookies. Thinking is not going to bring my body out of it. So instead of trying to think my way out of it, I'm going to shift to supporting my body. So here's what you can do. Shifting your body could be intentionally slowing your breath. It could be grounding yourself. Literally just taking a moment and focusing that your feet are planted firmly on the ground, or holding an object so that you can feel the weight of it in your hand. It can look like orienting yourself to where you are, bringing yourself back to the present. So just scanning your environment and, you know, naming some objects or some things you can smell, or gently reminding your body, I'm okay, I'm safe. And sometimes it even looks like stepping away for a moment and giving your system space to settle, not forcing it to be okay. Just allowing your body a chance to experience something different. Because listen, safety is built in allowing the body to experience small moments of safety amidst chaos, amidst triggers, amidst things that feel unsafe. Forcing and pushing through is not the answer, but allowing yourself to experience something slightly different by stepping away and grounding yourself, by slowing down your breathing, you're inviting safety back into your body. This matters because in those moments when you're triggered, you're not trying to convince your mind. Because if convincing your mind or giving yourself the awareness or the education was enough on its own, you wouldn't be having these reactions anymore. What you're doing now is you're helping your body feel something new, safety. And over time, that's what starts to shift the response. And it's important to recognize that there's also another layer happening at the same time. Sometimes it's not about thinking differently in a moment. Sometimes it's what your body is experiencing in that moment. And can you give it a different experience? And healing is, can you give your body a different experience? Now, when you start to include that piece, things can begin to shift differently. Because now it's not just, why am I like this? It becomes, what is my body needing right now? And what would help me feel even a little bit safer in this moment? So, if you've ever felt like, I understand this, I know, so why do I still feel this way? There's nothing wrong with you. There may just be more going on than what thoughts alone can reach. Because trauma is my jam, and a lot of what your body is doing actually makes sense. All right, folks, that is it for me today. If this is something that you have started to recognize in yourself and you're wanting to understand it on a deeper level, this is the kind of work I do. I work at the intersection of trauma-informed healing and understanding how your nervous system and body are responding. So, whether you're here just to learn or you're ready to go deeper into this work, you, my friend, are in the right place. Also, if this video resonated with you, I ask you to do all the things like, share, comment, so that it helps to spread the reach of this video so that we can bring some more trauma-informed education and healing to as many people as possible. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a blessed day.